name didn't come up in my pre-read. I'm sorry. What's your name? It just said
Oh,
join Zoom meeting.
oh, not a problem. It's Lance Belchek.
Hey,
So
Lance, how are you? Tony,
nice to
man.
meet you, Tony.
Yeah.
So I guess the first question I always want to ask is like, all this aside, how is life treating you?
Life, has been kindly interrupted, just like everybody. I was on a steamroller, but I figured out pretty early on I could like sit here and watch fucking $100 of bills roll out the window, but I know I'm not alone. Everybody has had some major interruption due to what's going on this year. So hang in there, folks. We're all going to be stronger once we get up to the other side.
No, no, we're all in this together, honestly, and I
Where are you
appreciate the
based?
optimism.
Where you,
Chicago.
oh, one of my favorite cities, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a mile west of Comiskey, so I guess, a little
Nice.
south of south of the
Yeah.
loop. And
Well,
what about you? I'm assuming California, but I don't even
yeah,
know.
I'm in California, but I'm an East Coast guy. I'm from Connecticut, cut my teeth
Uh,
in New York. As a matter of fact, one of the last gigs I had before this whole thing stopped was in Chicago, right in the early May. And had to go there for a little undisclosed film business. And here we are.
it's yeah, I mean it's a beautiful city, great food.
Great food, great
Little
city,
tough.
great sports fans, great people. Tell it like they see it.
I do
That's all
appreciate it,
I
man.
ask for.
Yeah. So let me jump in because I just watched Immortal the other day.
Mhm,
And so I always love a good anthology film. It's kind of like my big thing, like Trick or Treat or even
mhm.
Tales from the Hood. Uh, but what really kind of like took me aback was the character of Ted that you play was so kind and gentle and sweet. I mean, it was one of those things where like I was
You
telling
know
my
what?
wife,
I got to stop. So all my ex-girlfriends, my ex-wives are going to say, "How in the hell did you play that guy?" Well, they know I used to be sweet to all of them. No, it's a special role. Tom Colley, the director, we had lunch before we shot. I said, "Dude, this speaks to me." First of all, I got to give a shout out to Robbie Bryant. He's one of my dear friends. I worked together with him on Man from Earth and I Murders. He got the script from Rob Margolis, said, "Tony, you really need to do this. They don't have a lot of money, but this part is gold." And he was right. I did it. I read it. It spoke to me. I'm teamed up with Robin Bartlett, you know, who's such a special actress that only have to do half the work. It's true moment to moment. And Vanessa is a documentarian. It's just a special moment, man. We had 4 days to film. So Tom and I had lunch a couple of times, and we had 2 days of rehearsals that weren't covered under SAG, but we needed to get, so we weren't learning as we dived into the material.
so for Immortal, do you pick out the segment? Do you read the script and decide like this is what I want to do? Or does somebody come to you and be like, hey, we have a part that we think you'd be good for? Because, like I said, your part in this entire film sticks out as being different. There's more heart, more soul. I feel like less horror based. When we were watching it, this was something that we both looked at each other and like, oh wow, this is deep.
Your wife or what?
No, yeah, yeah, we watched it together, and she even turned to me. She's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I know. I just didn't expect it. Like I said, I wasn't like expecting to kind of have my heartstrings like
The
tug on."
writer is great, John DeBach. And he and I are actually working on a separate project now called Doc Fox, which is a half-hour comedy. All of a sudden, my people and the industry wants me to settle down and do a TV series. So we're looking at a couple of different things. My manager, Jeff Goldberg, has something he talked to me this morning. So we'll see. I never knew if I wanted the energy to do that, but I got over 230 films and TV appearances in the can, so maybe now I can just coast out and get my dream home in the Maldives, where I can jump into tropical water every morning, fish for my breakfast, all that stuff. Or get, provisions delivered to me by naked island women. Who knows?
Yeah, as a man that wants warm weather, rum and big hats, you're
Hello?
speaking.
Hello.
Yeah, you're
And then we'll
speaking.
go visit Chicago in the springtime, man.
Yeah, yeah, I love the city, but let's be honest. It's like 3 months a year. It's good. The rest is freezing
Oh,
cold. Like so.
3 months a year is fantastic. Don't sell it short.
So during quarantine, every Friday, me, my sister, my brother would get together, and we'd kind of get down and we'd watch Joe Bob Briggs. It'd be our little quarantine ritual. And then Tom Savini was on an episode, and he was discussing the Return of the Living Dead remake. Now, I think I actually saw that one first when I was a kid off of VHS, so I've had a deep love for it my entire life. But I feel like now it's finally getting the recognition. The recognition it's always deserved. Now, coming from somebody who's who starred in it, how does it feel to see something you love and something you worked on so long ago finally catch back up to its audience?
I'm grateful. I'm honored, man. I mean, people come to whatever they come to when they choose to come, be aware of it. So I'm just happy that my son was born during that production. I just wanted to play a hero, and Tom gave me the opportunity, and the cast was fun, great. You
Yeah.
know, Patty Tallman, William Butler, uh, Bill Mosley, another great friend of mine. Rest in peace to Tom Tolles, because I couldn't have been Ben without his Harry. So respect to that talent.
So I know they're talking about having that on the last drive-in eventually. Would you show? Would you be there?
But I've never been asked. So I've been on your boy's show.
I was going to say, yeah, the
Yeah,
little
I've been
hometown
on
pride.
that. He and I are Twitter friends. So, I've never really met Joe. So have you met him?
I met him actually at Flashback Weekend about 2 years
Ah,
ago.
okay. I like that show. That's a good show, by
Yeah.
the way. Right in the
Uh,
middle of August, right?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, over in Rosemont. Yeah, I was going to say you're there a lot. I appreciate the hometown support. It means a
yeah.
lot, you know? Yeah.
Well, any chance I get to come to Chicago, I'll take it. But I won't be hanging out in Rosemont. I'll be down at the Kingston Mines, okay, or the exit.
Oh, you mean the double dance floor where you're drinking all night in the orange bask of the glow?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
all that,
yeah, yeah. I've
Thanks,
been on
thanks.
many dates there. It's a great place, man.
Nice. Well, you're married now, so stop it.
Hey, that's where we went on our dates for the wife, you know. Um, but I was going to ask. So when it comes to like Night of the Living Dead, okay, so we agree that it's been a masterpiece. I'm glad it's getting recognition. Is there anything else you've done where you're kind of hoping like, hey, this gets a second look because I know it's going to like have a little more heart?
Well, I'm not one to try to predict people's tastes, but I'm so happy that Candyman is getting a new, fresh look. And with the new version come out, I think it's going to blow people's mind. You mentioned Tales from the Hood earlier. They asked me to be a part of Tales from the Hood 3. That's also dropping in October. I'm always looking forward, man. I don't really, sometimes I love going to cons, but, the whole time at cons, people are asking you questions about stuff you did in the past, which is fine because of whatever floats your boat. But as an artist, artists are thinking forward. And I just laid down 2 voiceover attempts this morning. Uh, don't have them yet, so I can't talk about them, but one of them is very classic. So we'll see, man. I'm just, trying to stay afloat.
All right, easy going. I like it. Well,
Yeah.
speaking
No,
of,
easy going here, but when I'm on set, I'm a tiger. If you show up and you don't know your lines, or you don't know what you're doing, or you don't have respect for the situation we're in, then you'll find out what kind of tyranny I can be. Okay.
well, as somebody who believes you show up always 10 minutes early and always do your job, I respect that. I mean,
You know what
you
I'm
know,
saying? When you're playing baseball and you're up at bat, what's your job?
hit the damn ball. So, but you mentioned, so you're mentioning the Candyman. Now, I got to bring this up. Uh, Again, my wife is Venezuelan, so anytime her family or friends come here for the first time, I show them the classics. Because coming all the way from Venezuela to Chicago, it's a
Oh,
different
okay.
world.
Wow. All
So
right.
Ferris Bueller, Blues Brothers, of course. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I always show them the Candyman because I do think that has an importance to it. Now, I also think that the Candyman, I think actually is probably has more social importance now than it ever has, especially
Right.
because I think we're looking back on housing projects and how we did things and how things were wrong and how I think we kind of screwed up. Do you
Right.
feel that like Candyman got that sort of respect back in the day, or do you think it kind of took
I
this long
think
to catch up?
subconsciously it got that kind of respect. I think when it first came out, people wanted to look at it simply as another horror film, and that's fine if there's that element. But the more, dissertations have been written about that film, and it's part of college film study courses and stuff. I mean, it's a deep film that tried to expose the history of racism in America, which is an all-encompassing subject. Uh, I think that this new version with Nia Nacosta's hands on it, with her feminist perspective, and the fact that we went to Chicago and shot on the grounds of what used to be the former Cabrini Green is going to have new, deeper resonated power.
Can I ask, how did you? Now, I thought I read that. I was actually very concerned because I thought that you weren't going to be in this one. And again, you're you're unreplaceable. How did you then get involved? Or am I incorrect? Were you always involved?
Well, how do you know I'm in it at all?
I was going to say IMDb, my friend.
And I thought we were here talking about Immortal. Man, I don't know if I'm in Candyman or not. All you people need to do is go October 16th, download it, go into a theater, and figure it out.
Okay, my friend.
What's the name of the film?
What's up?
What's the name of the film?
Candyman.
Who am I?
Well, you are a man of many faces.
Who did I play? Who did I originate?
You played Candyman.
Okay, well, that's all we need to know.
Just trying to get you up a little, but either way, I will be there.
It's all good. Listen, I'm a film fan, and I lifted that character for over 30 years from different cons, taken so many photos of people that just love. I've said so many lines in the film from everyone except for "kiss my ass," and now I want you guys to know you can kiss my ass lovingly because you're going to be blown away.
All right. So then one more. How about this? I talked to Robert Englund a little while back, and I was reading that he said that if he had to retire the character, he had to pass it off. He was saying Kevin Bacon would be his choice. Now, I don't ever want you to pass this character off because you have a voice, of a million men here. But if you had to pass it off and retire the character, is there anybody that you think could hold a candle?
I think actors who are trained. Our responsibility is to play roles that have been repeated by other people. For example, Shakespeare, Othello. There's been over 500 different interpretations of Othello. All of them are valid, all of them are correct, and all of them are passionate. Well, the good ones I'm only talking about. So, life is a relay race. So I have no problem with either receiving a torch or passing a torch. Personally, and I'm just going through all actors in the history of time, I would cast James Edwards. And if you don't know who he is, look him up.
Now you've had many famous characters, so let's be honest. Like you said, you've done quite a bit. I still think Reverend Zombie might be one of my favorites, just because I love seeing you in like a comedic film. But I missed you in the last two. I mean, could I ever get you back, even as like I know obviously you died, but as like a twin brother or another character?
Well, I'm gonna say, how can I come back if Kane Hodder, my dear friend, pulled out my spine deliciously and left me hanging on the side of a damn tree with
twin brother,
pale lips, trying to utter help me. I mean, how the hell can I come back from that?
Anybody, man. I just back in the movie. That's the thing. It's like I just would love to see it back. I don't know. I know he can do it because
Adam Green's a good guy, and I wish not only his success, Kane's success, Robert's success, everybody's success. Just be happy. We're gonna get through this bullshit together, and we're gonna come out of it stronger than ever. And hopefully, your next project's gonna be your best one ever made.
All right, man. Well, thank you for always coming back to Flashback Weekend.
Awesome.
Thank you for giving Chicago some love. And again, my friend, you were the best.
I can't wait to have another Chicago hot dog, man. They don't make them right out here in California.
Oh, no. Hey, we got the food over here. That's all I got. Cold winters and food.
That was good. Peace.
All right, buddy. All right.
Take care.
Try to pretend the camera's not even here. Tell me what was going through your mind the first time you heard the diagnosis.
Well, I went through all the different stages of grief. That sense of normalcy that you once shared, I get sacrificed really quickly.
Why is it that we paint good guys in such infuriating clothing? Every hero with a conscience has some debilitating physical deformity or a self-confidence problem, while the evil, satanic torturers of the literary world get to wear capes of leather and drive great cars. What do you think it says about us as a society that the bad guys are always more fun?
Now, for everybody's safety, you make sure you keep your hands where I can see them at all times. On your knees is fine. Be comfortable.